Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's wonderful to be back at India Food Forum. And as you know, the topic of this discussion today is why and how and when food spaces began becoming cultural hubs, began becoming places of experience, not just about the food. So for the first time, we're expecting Santosh to join us shortly, so we'll welcome him in as soon as he comes in. Santosh, please join us. And we have a timer on for about 40 minutes, and one of our panelists isn't here. I'm not sure to what extent we'll have Q&A with the audience, but we'll just take it as it comes. And for the first time in my speaking life, I have prepared some cue cards for me to ask questions because I wanted to see how that works. So let's start off with the discussion. Abhinav, let's start with you. In terms of your journey, when did you see that restaurants or cafes have stopped becoming only about food? It's gone beyond the menu, and it's now about spaces, it's about the vibe, it's about moments, experiences. When did you see that?
Quick introduction. I run a company called Copy Machines. We are into coffee consulting, equipment, training, and after-sales service. Just to give a context, this is COVID lockdown time. We were all working from home. I get a call from this American-sounding lady, and she says, "My name is Sherry, and have you heard of this brand called Araku?" Okay. I said, "Yes, I've heard of it. You're a roastery in Hyderabad, and I know that you're doing something around tribals and promoting coffee from there." She said, "Yes, but now we are planning to open up a retail space. We have one space in Paris, but we want to open up a space in Bangalore to make people experience coffee. But we don't want a typical cafe. We are imagining a very different kind of a space. And one of the fundamental things that we want is that whatever coffee machine you suggest should not obstruct my baristas speaking to my customers."
Okay.
So it was an interesting challenge, plus it was lockdown. With masks, we went, we saw the place, and then we figured out this American brand called Mod Bar. Now this brand develops a kind of coffee machine where the machine is not on top of the counter, but below the counter.
Okay.
All you have on the top are spouts from where the actual coffee gets extracted. And they call it the modern bar because the idea is, in a modern bar, the barista and the customer should be talking, and the machine should not be an obstruction to that conversation.
Wow, yeah.
So, and I'm sure people who stay in Bangalore or visit Bangalore, this was almost like a pilgrimage now to go to Araku Cafe and see the whole place. And if you see the design of the place, it's not about machines or equipment. It's about a free-flowing world of coffee where you get to meet people. There's a nice, white, clean image of the space. It's very well designed, of course. But again, it comes with that whole imagination and thought of, I want a space which is all about food and Araku Valley and coffee, but also I want a perfect cup of coffee without obstruction. That's essentially the first such space we did. And the world of specialty coffee, of course, has taken off from there. There are so many examples. In Bombay, you have Bougie, Nandan, so many very, very interesting spaces. A new one opens every day. Yep. Through the conversation, probably we can speak more about such interesting spaces, but I really remember this one. And when you said which is the first, of course, it had to be Araku.
Okay, fantastic. Santosh, would you like to share when in your journey was your first memory of food spaces are now becoming not only about food. I know that you're into FEC, your family entertainment center, so you're The kind of category you're in is already entertainment. But overall, when did you see this happen? Do you remember any incident?
Hi, this is Santosh Tyagi. I am into Ghoomar Restaurants. So I was running restaurants since last 8, 9 years, and I strongly felt since last 3 years कि लोगों को food जो है ना for granted हो गया है, and अब उनको कुछ और चाहिए, उनकी expectations और हैं मतलब. तो अभी मैंने 3 महीने हुए हैं मुझे खोले हुए, मैंने 25,000 स्क्वायर फीट का सेंटर गुड़गांव में घूमर विलेज के नाम से खोला है. और उसमें बेस्ट पार्ट क्या है कि कस्टमर कॉल्स आती है एंड वी आर गेटिंग ए ह्यूज रिस्पॉन्स.
Right.
Because it is indoor, it is outdoor, 85% AC, hygienic, safety, secure, and then 15% area is open. So उसमें बहुत सारा फूड दिया है, मतलब 20 आइटम्स के करीब स्नैक्स आउटलेट हैं, मतलब स्नैक्स के काउंटर्स हैं जैसे शादी में होते हैं, और 25 आइटम्स जो है वो फाइन डाइन का सर्विंग होती है. बट हम वहाँ पे ये बोल रहे हैं सबको, हम ये बोलते हैं कि हम फूड नहीं, फूड इज़ कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री. तो आप आइए एंड गेट एंटरटेन, आप एंटरटेनमेंट करिए पहले अपने आप को, खाइए पीजिए. मतलब हमने वहाँ पे टैगलाइन दिया है कि खेलो कूदो नाचो गाओ
Okay.
और खूब खाओ.
Okay. Okay.
सो एक बार आपने उसकी एंट्री टिकट ले ली, फिर वो पेन खत्म हो गया आपका.
Right.
अब वो बार बार आपको उसमें पेन नहीं होना है, तो फिर आप वसूली पार्ट में आ जाते हो कि हाँ जी अब बताओ क्या क्या है क्या नहीं है. सो मैं एग्जैक्टली आई हैव गॉन बियॉन्ड ऑफ फूड एग्जैक्टली, एंड आई एम गेटिंग ह्यूज रिस्पॉन्स.
Okay, but you have that size of space where you have so much of entertainment and that's your primary offering. So food is complementary. So yeah,
That was,
I mean, you're in
that
a
was
good place.
needed basically,
You're in a
because
good place.
I am seeing that opportunity, that demand actually.
Right.
So people are coming in a huge amount, मतलब extended large families आती हैं जो कहीं नहीं जाती.
जी.
मतलब 4 generations आते हैं मेरे यहाँ पे.
Okay.
मतलब 3 साल के बच्चे से लेकर उनके दादा दादी सब लोग करके, तो वो बिकॉज ऑफ एंटरटेनमेंट आ रहे हैं. एंड फूड इज फॉर देयर, यू नो, दैट इज कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री. मतलब फूड तो है ही है,
बिल्कुल.
बट उसके अलावा बहुत सारी चीजें हैं.
Okay.
कि आप ये कर लो, वो कर लो, पॉटरी मेकिंग है, पपेट शो, मैजिक शो, पंडित जी के पास बैठो, गेम्स खेलो, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं.
Okay.
सो मैं एग्जैक्टली जो सब्जेक्ट है कि बियॉन्ड फूड, so I have gone already beyond food.
Fantastic. Dharmendra, anything you'd like to share? Not working.
Check.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'd like to add to this. So we were operating India's largest chain of family entertainment centers right from 2001 under
That's
the brand
Amoeba,
name
right?
Amoeba. Yeah. I started off from single small kiosk. We grew it to 56 outlets pan India. But then we were too early. India didn't know the FEC game actually. It only evolved over a period of time. We opened 55, 56, we closed 30 also. But today's trend, now parents know the value of this gaming is not just entertainment. There's a lot of learning which goes for kids. So the togetherness, the eye-to-hand coordination, a lot of things. And it's a binding with the family. You go to an FEC, you dare not stand with a phone there. You know,
Yeah.
your kid will not allow you to pick up your phone and focus there. And you're focusing on actual pure entertainment.
But is that an addiction?
No, it's not an addiction. It's like, you know, when you're going there, automatically you'll become a kid.
Well, in some way, we are all honestly selling addiction. One way or the other, some products that we are serving, some experiences that we are serving, because we have a goal, we have a commercial goal in mind. So there's nothing wrong with that. We're doing this for a living. There's nothing wrong with that. But are we leaning towards this more because there is a commercial goal? Or is it that it's truly a social experience? So I want to ask you, Vedant, before I come to you, Sunil. Mizu is a place that you've started, which is a cultural kind of experience. How do you design spaces which are actually originally for food, because Dharmendra and Santosh both spoke about family entertainment centers. We in restaurants or cafes don't have that size of space. So how do you design for a space becoming a sort of cultural hub? How do you design for music or art? How have you incorporated into Mizu?
Yeah, okay. Good afternoon, firstly. Nice to be on a panel with so much experience. I'm learning as much as everyone else here today. But coming to your question, I mean, firstly, to begin with, if I had to even look for 25,000 square foot in Bombay, you know.
Yeah.
So that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So in Bombay, I think you have to fit your experience into what is available. With Mizu, I think the name itself took care of the theme we wanted to follow. Mizu means water, it means flow. It means limitless flow. So we didn't want to restrict ourselves. Yes, Japanese is the cuisine we chose, but we also picked an izakaya just so people can understand. An izakaya is this very casual eatery in Japan where everyone goes post-work to get a drink. It's not formal, you don't have to dress up. So we wanted to steal that from Japan. We wanted to also use what our land is one of the most beautiful lands there is. I mean, our spices, our fruits, our vegetables, if we really dig deep, we have some of the best produce. It's just that we don't know enough about it.
Yep.
Because we are always looking internationally.
Sure.
So what we wanted to do was take the produce of Japan, use ingredients from India, merge them, obviously not bastardizing them, but using them correctly to give an Indian audience a palate. I mean, you know, an Indian eventually there's a palate, there's a taste.
Sure.
And the Indian wants to taste that when they go out. Yes, they'll experiment, but comfort food should taste familiar. So we wanted to do that, but yet introduce Japanese and not just sushi. There's so much more to sushi.
Of course.
There's so many depths to Japanese food,
Sure.
which relate to an Indian palate, but we were just not, I think, confident enough to take that step, more as entrepreneurs and restaurateurs rather than consumers.
Okay.
So we said, why don't we, you know, just, this is a step we want to take. We want
Sure.
to be the first izakaya in India.
Okay.
And touch wood, it's
Okay.
going well. So yeah, we just, more than diving into experience, I think we just wanted to create a space that just flowed. It allowed flow. That's it. Yeah.
Great. Sunil, let's come to you next. You're bringing LavAzza, which is an Italian experience, a European coffee house vibe to India. But your foundation has been a very Indian brand of cafes, the greatest, probably the largest Indian brand of cafes, Cafe Coffee Day.
Right.
And what is it that you see now sitting on both sides of the spectrum, Indian and international? What do Indian consumers actually want?
Understood. Hey, hi. Good evening, all. When actually you look back at the cafe landscape in India, you feel there is a huge revolution. I call that revolution as a metamorphosis in our industry. For me, over about 27 years in this career and about 3 cafe chains, with Coffee Day being my start, I call Cafe Coffee Day as a birthplace for, like, it's a birth of the third place where actually people started understanding what is coffee, what exactly it is. But when I was in Cafe Coffee Day, there was a huge shift in the change in the mind of the consumer, actually, where we felt that the consumer is actually changing, and because of which the Coffee Day also tried to adapt it, and then we came into a logo where we came into a tagline called "A lot can happen over coffee." I'm sure all of you
Yes,
would have
of
heard
course,
that
of
particular
course.
tagline. That was just not a tagline. It was a cultural shift in terms of understanding the mindset. So what I felt in that first stint of mine in Coffee Day, it was from a very regular coffee consumption. It was a shift from a regular coffee consumption to a building like a community connection kind of a building. So that's where my first understanding of the evolution was. Thereafter, at third wave, I found this coffee consumption actually moving into a conscious consumption, where customers were just not about drinking coffee, were also wanting to understand where did the coffee grow, what are the different kind of rows, what is the coffee beans, who actually grew the coffee. So people were more than a coffee. It was more of a learning kind of an experience. Now to answer your question on the LavAzza part of it, so LavAzza actually adds all these aspects. At the same time, we try to bring in the Italian heritage, Italian authenticity, Italian understanding of the whole service and the quality, along with the Indian warmth in it. So that's where we are trying to blend. So we're trying to get that curated experience in LavAzza, and I feel that experience will really matter a lot as we move forward.
Beautiful. So that'll be a distinction from what coffee houses are currently in India.
Absolutely.
Okay, super, super. We'll just have I'll just see if I have a quick couple of questions. One question that I want to ask the audience, 2 or 3 people. If any of you, by a show of hands, could raise your hands for this. Can any of you name one restaurant or cafe anywhere in the world that you've experienced where you felt that besides the food, the experience was really good? Anyone want to remember? Anyone have a memory? Could someone pass the mic, please? Anyone have a memory of any great experience anywhere in the world that you've had?
So this is a place in Singapore called Marché, and it's set up like a marketplace.
The market, yeah.
And again, you enter with with a kind of a ticket, and you go around various, let's say, shops where they prepare food for you, and you can take it away. But it's so interactive and so lively, like a street side supermarket.
Sure.
And the food, of course, is amazing.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thanks, Dhiren. Anyone else want to share any memorable experience? Otherwise, let's go back to the panel. Okay, so let's go back to the panel. So, Santosh, I'd like to ask you, and followed by Dharmendra, the same question. When you are designing a space for social interaction, what goes into that? Leave aside the food for a moment, because 2 of you have certain specialized experience in that, and you have the luxury of space as well. So what goes into designing a space? Is it music? Is it art? What is it that goes into that designing a space for, which will be suitable for social interactions, which will be suitable to become a community hub, which is what you all have given the examples you all have created. Santosh, would you like to share?
सबसे पहले मैं कोई भी जगह को डिज़ाइन करता हूँ तो उसमें क्रिएटिविटी को मैं पहले जगह देता हूँ
जी।
कि उसमें क्रिएटिविटी बहुत ज़्यादा होनी चाहिए।
Okay.
बहुत फिक्स वाले फिक्सर्स एंड ऑल दैट मैं उसको अवॉइड करता हूँ। दूसरी चीज़ क्या है कि मेरी जो जगह है वो बहुत ज़्यादा पिक्चर्स क्यों होनी चाहिए, मतलब वो बहुत ज़्यादा सुंदर होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि आज के डेट में सोशल मीडिया का टाइम है, तो हम कहीं पे भी जाते हैं, हम कोई भी एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं, हम उसको तुरंत जो है क्लिक करते हैं और उसको शेयर करते हैं
जी।
तो अगर जगह बहुत खूबसूरत होगी और कुछ अलग हटके होगी तो हम उसको तुरंत जो है वो क्लिक करेंगे, पिक्चर लेंगे, उसकी वीडियो बनाएंगे एंड उसको शेयर करेंगे कि हम XYZ जगह गए थे। तो सुंदर होना बहुत ज़रूरी है, क्रिएटिव होना बहुत ज़रूरी है एंड कुछ ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस होना चाहिए। जैसे मैंने अभी गुड़गांव जो बनाया
जी,
तो उसमें फाइन डाइन की भी जगह है, 200 सीट का फाइन डाइन है,
राइट,
प्लस वहाँ पे खटिया भी पड़ी हुई है,
ओके,
प्लस वहाँ पे चौकियाँ भी पड़ी, मतलब आदमी जैसे कहते हैं ना कि यार इतना खा लिया है ना, थोड़ा खटिया मिल जाए तो मज़ा आ जाए, तो मैंने सच में खटिया डाल दिया वहाँ पे।
ओके,
तो सीरियसली मैं लोगों को वहाँ लेटे हुए देखता हूँ एंड एक हाट पे जो है ना वो हस्बैंड वाइफ आमने सामने बैठ के बीच में चीज़ें रख के वो खा रहे हैं, मैं इतना खुश होता हूँ लोगों को देख के, क्योंकि मैंने वो विजुलाइज किया था
जी,
तो मुझे सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट होता है, मेरे पास जो लोग सब आते हैं मैं वहाँ घूमता रहता हूँ, देखता रहता हूँ, लोगों को चेहरे देखता रहता हूँ, अगर वो खुश हैं तो मेरी चीज़ सक्सेसफुल है
जी,
सो मैं टोटल जो मेरा फोकस है वो एक्सपीरियंस पर रहता है कि हाउ दे आर एक्सपीरियंसिंग इट। जैसे आते ही वो नाचने गाने लगे और जाते तक वो नाचने गाने, तो टोटल एक्सपीरियंस, फोटो, क्रिएटिविटी, इन सब चीज़ों पे फोकस रहता है मेरा।
fabulous. Vedant, can you imagine in Mumbai, let alone somebody sleeping on a khatia, I think at the most we can cross our legs on the chair, you know, and keep our slippers down and cross our legs on the chair, huh?
नहीं, मैं अभी तो और उसके और आगे चला गया हूँ, मैं अभी 2.5 एकड़ में बना रहा हूँ
Okay.
एंड उसमें और सब कुछ बहुत सारी ऐसी
आप
क्रिएटिविटी।
बहुत brave हो, sir. Dharmendra, please share your experience of how you design spaces for social interactions.
Actually, if you
It could be in your
analyze-
hotel also,
yeah.
because I know that you have
If you
resorts as
actually,
well. So it needn't only be in an entertainment center. In a
Yes.
hotel or any kind of hospitality offering, how are you designing spaces for
See, normally what happens is it depends on your format. If it is a QSR, there are certain things which you have to follow. If it is a fine dine, there are certain norms to follow. If it is a casual dining, there are certain rules you have to follow. And when you sit with the architect, your designing starts from there. What is your passion? What is your vision? What do you want your customer to experience? QSR, fine dining, casual dining, the nightlife, nightclub. So we had all these formats.
Sure.
And every format, we ensured the touch points are taken care of. We kept it very fluidic. And we kept nature intact. We had water bodies. We had open air. We designed it in such a way that the air circulation is also perfect. The west facing was open. A lot of things. And in some places where there is a permissible sunlight to come in, we kept it open. So this plays a very vital role to give that ambience during the day, and by evening, the whole place transforms. So today's trend is cafe by the day. By evening, it's a snack joint, and by later evening, it becomes a nightclub or entertainment spot.
Okay.
So today's trend is that you have to design in such a way that you cater to all the types of crowd target. Otherwise, if I design only a nightclub, so my TG is only visiting between 9 to 11, 9 to 12. I don't know, I think in Mumbai it's open till 3.
No,
but in
not
Bangalore by
anymore.
12 we are
Not
shut.
anymore.
Yeah, so
It used to be at one point 24/7, but we couldn't use that opportunity somehow.
and one more point in today's trend is, in Bangalore especially, so 170 breweries are there.
Right.
Each brewery capacity 800, 1,000, 2,000. There's one more opening of 5,000 capacity on a 5 acre, 3 lakh square foot. So they are giving all kinds of experience. The one more guy who's opening a brewery where you take a boat and go to that island. It's in the island. He's created an artificial lake. The brewery is in the island.
So there's no limit. No
Then
limit.
there's no limit, yeah.
Vedant, you wanted to pitch in and say something? No limit. Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
No, I have a counter question.
No,
for
no,
them.
please go ahead.
Because I mean, I think they've tapped into many cities as well.
Yes.
What I would like to ask them is, do you? I mean, when you plan, does what you're planning differ from city to city? Like Sir said in Delhi, yes, that the katia, you put a katia, and that works. That
Yeah.
works. That's the culture of Delhi. In Bangalore, Sir said, you build these huge spaces with open gardens, sunlight, breweries. Again, that's the culture of the space.
Sure.
Whereas Bombay may attract its separate culture.
Right.
And Hyderabad might. So does that play a factor, or do you go with just what your vision is?
So your location matters a lot, and your TG. If you're in city center, and if you're targeting only families, if you're targeting end entrepreneurs, students, it's a different kind of setup. If you are planning a massive place, where, for example, in Bangalore, Marathalli, that whole belt is tech parks, IT,
Okay.
complete IT crowd is the target.
Okay.
So each and every place is designed in such a way that if a group of 100 people come, they have place. If a group of 500 people come, they have place. They've created multi-levels. So if there are 1,500 people, one shot, they still have place. They make place.
And if I were to tie your hands behind your back by not giving you that space, then what would you advise? Like a place like Mumbai, for example, both Dharmendra, you and Santosh, before I go on to the others again, just to close this loop, if you had very limited space, Santosh and Dharmendra, then what would you advise?
So what I would do in Mumbai,
Quickly,
for
so that we
example,
can go to
is
the next,
I would have done a multi-level. In the small place, I would have created a multi-level experience center.
Santosh, what about you? Limited place?
I don't think space is a constant. मुझे नहीं लगता कि space नहीं होती है. Concepts की ज़रूरत होती है. अगर concept आपके पास strong है तो space आ जाती है. तो अगर मैं
Okay.
कभी भगवान की दया से
I
बॉम्बे में
suppose
खोलूंगा,
Bastion in Mumbai is an example when normally nobody would do, but you're right. Maybe that's another perspective. Thanks. So, Abhinav, and then followed by Sunil, I'd like to ask you all, today's cafes, particularly since you all are specialists in cafes, today's cafes, are they really part of India's, in India I mean, are they really part of India's social infrastructure? Or are we still in India at the stage that we are just transactional? We're not really social infrastructure. We're calling ourselves that. Is it just the beginning, or what do you see?
Again, I feel something has changed after COVID, where so many companies started to offer work from home. And some part of our social interaction used to happen in workplaces. We used to go. There's a coffee concept now called coffee badging, which is essentially you go to your office, stand around the coffee machine, have a coffee, show your face and come back.
Okay.
Right? That's called coffee badging.
Okay.
So there's coffee badging happening in offices, but then actually the time and the is being spent by professionals and various kinds of fields where you are more like freelancing. There are creative people. There are people into digital marketing. They are spending most of their working time in cafes. In fact, it's become a big problem. I think Sunil has an answer to that because I
Yes.
know Ayush very well, the founder of Third Wave, and he used to tell me that I want to generate like at least some $1,000-2,000 from that person who's sitting with a laptop and ordered one coffee at 9 a.m. in the morning and still is occupying the seat at 5 p.m. What do I do? Should I turn off the internet? Should I go and ask him 5 times a day, would you like to order something? Should I switch off the AC around him so that the person feels a bit uncomfortable? But then that's not hospitality. That's not the right culture for Indians. So in fact, I would say that cafes have become the social hubs. Uh, Also, as soon as you put a name of something like cafe on your space, you're already saying that you can enter any time. Versus if it's a fine dine, it's an occasion-based space. So they have become social hubs definitely. The point is, have we learned how to monetize them occupying the seat properly or not?
Sure.
And that is to be still cracked, I feel, just to end my entire thing. People have figured out coffee very well, but cafe people have not figured out food very well.
It's a tough one. I wrote about this about a decade ago, specifically to do with Cafe Coffee Day, because that has been our hero in the coffee space in India.
We can't be serving
it was- it
croissant and
used to-
sandwiches, because that's not us. We
Correct.
don't like cold stuff. We like hot stuff,
Correct.
but we also like coffee. So how
Yeah.
do we marry that without complicating the kitchen behind and all of those things? So that's the real challenge. People who have really roastery. There are some beautiful cafes in India who do amazing food and coffee and are doing well, but whoever has not cracked it are the ones probably who are still struggling.
No, most important, that's a great point because it's really a pain point for us. Sunil, please do throw some light on this.
Earlier, about maybe 2-3 decades back, I would say it was transactional. I think the transactional thing has actually evolved a lot actually over the last maybe 10, 12, 15 years. I somehow feel that now cafes are more immersive, more inclusive. Most of the cafe joints actually spend a lot of time in terms of understanding how do we make the cafe a little more like a living room where a customer does not find it very intrusive to enter into our cafes. I still remember in maybe about 2008, 2010, the term called cafe as a third house or a third place actually ventured in. But over the period of last 10, 15 years, 10 years maybe, from the shift of the third home, it's now become the second home. Why I say so is because I feel if you go into any of the cafes, whether it's Coffee Day, whether it's Starbucks, whether it is Third Way, whether it's Blue Tokai, you will see 70-80% of the people who are sitting there working. There must be some entrepreneurs who are actually coming, doing some business meeting. There must be some marketing. There must be some tech people. There are all of these different set of category people coming in, not just for coffee as such, coming in for a lot of dialogue, coming in for a conversation, coming in to just catch up. Just coffee is just another term, but I think it has become more of a social hub is what my perception has been.
No, it's very bold of you to say that it's now a second place, not just a third place. And I agree with you because I see what you mean.
Absolutely.
Because they are actually there. I mean, it's actually become a workplace.
Right,
And sometimes, yeah, at home, sitting with their legs up. So, absolutely. Vedant, would you like to share any things that you've been noticing in the cafe space specifically, even not just as a restaurator, but also as a new generation person? How do you see it from the other side, as a consumer as well as a restaurator? Any thoughts that come to mind?
As a consumer, I love it.
Okay.
I don't know as a restaurator as much because I think what Sir said made complete sense. You know, I mean, with us, we have seatings. Like that's timings we work on. It's 7:30 to 9:30. 9:30 means you're just trying to turn around tables, feed
Yes.
as many as you can.
Yes.
Whereas they may not have the same option. And what he said made so much sense because while we were in talks or wanting to enter the cafe space, we were like, but how do we tell someone to get out?
Correct.
You know, if they want to turn around a table, if I'm not making enough, I mean,
Yes.
APC from that person, it's just not going to float for me. So they're very different models.
No, just a very quick one. Buji, Rajdeep, what he has done is he says no laptops.
Right.
So,
Actually, yeah.
that's one way of doing it.
Yeah.
But you have to be as bold as he is.
Correct.
You know? So
You have to have the guts to say that.
Yeah, and have that kind of monopoly
But then they can
currently in
still,
the market.
exactly. But then they can still do it on their screens, on their phones. But you're right, that they won't do that much work on their phones. That's a good thought. That's a good thought. You were saying something, Dharmendra?
Yeah, in my previous company, Gillies, we had one building where we had multi-floor restaurant.
Okay.
We had this problem. People used to come, open their laptops. We work from home, they are getting bored. They come to coffee shops, they get chased from coffee shop. They started coming to bars.
Okay.
The bars are not occupied during the day.
Yeah.
Then we were like, "Arey, aake Pepsi order kar liya, beta, 4-5 hours."
Okay.
See, we are in hospitality. I can't ask him to get out. 100 rupees also customer. Then we started a concept called Lazy Turtle.
Lazy?
Lazy Turtle.
Turtle. Okay.
The more you stay, the less you pay.
Okay.
You stay longer, you pay lesser. With a catch. Minimum 1,000 rupees you have to spend. If you stay
see.
for 5 hours, I'll give you 50% discount. But spend 1,000 bucks.
Oh, that's a clever thought. So that maybe there may be a possible answer in that, you know, there could be a possible solution
And
for us all.
we had the place buzzing.
Okay.
They were full.
Wonderful.
People didn't mind
Yeah.
spending 1,000 bucks.
Yeah.
But clean place, good food, coffee at 150 bucks in a place of 400 bucks.
Yeah.
Imagine I was giving beer at 99,
Okay.
much cheaper than your coffee.
And the coffee itself.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Now we've just got 3 minutes more, so I have 2 questions for each of you, but very quickly, like a quick fire round. What is a trend that you're betting on over the next 3 years? Any trend. It needn't be coffee, it needn't be a product, it could be a format, it could be a cuisine, it could be a dish, or anything, any trend that you see. Just any one trend, or 2 if you wish.
So current trend, what I see, the next 5 years will be community-based business.
Okay?
So the communities are growing. Every outlet is building its own community. And you target a community, your business increases.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of brands doing this and they see a growth of 15 to 20% directly. So there are WhatsApp communities also.
Sure.
There
So
are
community
groups.
driven is what you're
Yes.
saying.
If you see, socials is one of the best example for a community.
Actually.
And co-working community. A lot of people use these spaces for co-working during the day.
Sure.
That's also community.
Abhinav, trends?
food-wise, just as somebody interested in food,
Yep.
I see Mexican should be picking up more. I mean, there are now some fun places in Bombay and Bangalore, but there should be more coming up.
Okay.
I also see there should be more things happening on the drinks space, not necessarily coffee, but boba and other interesting formats. I don't think that has really played out still in India. There are a few interesting brands again emerging, but that should take away, and drinks should be trending more, occupies less space, is less complex, is high margin, more people should think about it. Those are 2 trends which definitely I see emerging.
Santosh?
Entertainment and experience, basically.
Okay.
Especially FEC.
Okay.
Family entertainment.
Yeah,
center.
you're literally betting on it. Literally putting your money where your mouth is. Perfect. Sunil?
I would say two aspects. One, definitely on the authenticity of any business, whatever you do, because I think at the end of the day, consumer needs to get the right product. Second, I think over the next 5 years, I think sustainability will play a very, very important role. That as an aspect, not as a commodity or a product, but I feel sustainability and an experience or an authenticity really matters a lot for me from my point of view.
Sure. Vedant?
I mean, I think we can't ignore the influence of social media on today's dining and culture. So I'd say experience dining,
Okay.
Papa's, Mask, places like this.
Okay.
Because it's trend, because people want to get snapped there. And the Gen Z today are
Sure.
making unnecessary money. So
Sure.
they have it to spend. So yeah, I think the experience dining space in the
Okay,
next 3 years.
that's superb, superb. So I think that's all the time that we have just now. I won't step over the time. So let's give a big round of applause to our panelists for the thoughts that they shared. It's over 200 years of experience, I think, on the stage. And that's, we just unfortunately had very short time with each of them. But thank you all for listening. And sorry, I couldn't take any of your questions. There's so much more I wanted to ask them, but hope we've all taken away something. Thank you. Next.
Thank you, sir. I would like to ask one question to you, sir. You shared an example of third wave coffee. So do you think that any subscription-based model would be a great fit to resolve these kind of challenges what you were talking about?
Third Wave actually tried a subscription-based model where they give a discount and you can come and order again and again. People gamify that. There are ways to kind of, you get your friend, you do this, you do that. You can't force Indian consumers. Indian consumers are very good at jugaad. You will always find a way to escape what you really want to do. But there are good subscription models, especially Luckin in China has this whole model where you subscribe. And if you are ordering less coffee, the price goes up. And then you start ordering more and the price goes down. And it's very, very dynamic. It's AI generated. So there are things to be done and learned. So, everyone has to explore. Yeah.
Thank
It
you.
is like something like bar stock exchange, this coffee stock exchange. The price is dynamic.
Thanks a lot, sir.